Agriculture in the Classroom seeks to improve student knowledge of agriculture by applying authentic, agricultural-based content as the context to teach core curriculum concepts in science, social studies, language arts, and nutrition. In an effort to further deepen the partnership from the grassroots, Cabinet Office directed Executive Office of the President on Tuesday the 17th of September, 2024 that the Ministry of Environment, Climate Change, and Forestry to establish a more robust framework for community-based forest associations to further empower local communities in forest conservation efforts. National Landscape and Ecosystem Restoration Strategy 2023 to 2032, which aims to plant 15 billion trees. Cabinet acknowledged with appreciation the growing partnership between the public and private sectors in advancing the tree planting campaign. Welcome to Suya e-learning for food security, climate change, school feeding program, nutrition education for all. When you have bad governance and poor accountability from your local government leaders, then you are doomed to live under control of cartels and fools. We hope you subscribe to our channel YouTube at Suya Mombasa and share this links with your friends or family. Innovation in 7 years, reaching 81 million in 2039. As a result of this rapid increase, land parcels in the areas of high agricultural potential are decreasing in size, affecting food production. According to Food and Agricultural Organization, documents presented on September 11, 2024, before the Parliamentary Committee, chaired by Marakwet East MP Kango Bowen, showed that a total of 3 shillings. 6 billion had been allocated to the ministry for a 3-year fish stock assessment program in the ocean. Joho, we didn't spend 1 shilling. To count fish only, we did more. The money was not for counting fish, but for stock assessment, which includes water patterns and migration trends, among others, which requires thorough scientific analysis, Joho said. The fear hierarchy provides an exposure treatment plan that identifies specific feared situations that the patient will gradually face and ranks these according to their anxiety scale, Abramovitz, Deacon, and Whiteside, 2011. Building a fear hierarchy requires an accurate assessment of what triggers a people's and public anxiety level. Hope and fear are human motivators. We've seen this throughout the ages, and the hierarchy of needs allows us to see this in action. Who is Maslow, and what is the theory of motivation? Abraham Maslow was an American psychologist who developed a hierarchy of needs to explain human motivation. His theory illustrated that people have specific basic needs that must be met before moving up the hierarchy to pursue more social, emotional, and self-actualization needs. Is poverty a choice or not a choice? Poverty is not a personal choice. It's a policy choice. The problem? Too often, anti-poverty solutions are dismissed because many think poverty is the result of irresponsible decisions or a lack of hard work. But being poor is not a personal failure. Policymakers and powerful interests ignore the reality that our economic system is stacked against low-income families. If you have a full-time job, you should be able to pay for food and rent. It is not acceptable for the minimum wage to be $7.25 for 13 years. Ron Bills, CEO of EnviroFit, advocates for listening to and empowering people living in poverty, rather than simply offering charity, and suggests that they need access to technology and solutions that address their specific needs. In 1984, the Leakey team found an almost complete fossilized skeleton that was dated to about 1.5 million years ago. This was a Homo erectus and is famously known as Turkana boy. An agriculturally literate population is able to see beyond emotional pleas and make informed decisions on these issues. A society with an understanding of agriculture and current economic, social, and environmental impacts could lessen current challenges facing agriculture through good decision-making along with providing the necessary support. The theory of natural selection was explored by 19th-century naturalist Charles Darwin. Natural selection explains how genetic traits of a species may change over time. This may lead to speciation, the formation of a distinct new species. Species keep on evolving or changing with time. As the environment changes, the requirements of an organism also change and they adapt to the new environment. This phenomenon of changing over a period of time as per the natural requirements is called adaptation. What is the theory of natural selection by Charles Darwin? Natural selection is an inevitable outcome of 3 principles. Most characteristics are inherited, more offspring are produced than are able to survive, and offspring with more favorable characteristics will survive and have more offspring than those individuals with less favorable. In 1859, Charles Darwin theory of evolution by natural selection as an explanation for adaptation and speciation. He defined natural selection as the principle by which each slight variation of a trait, if useful, is preserved.
90% of a child's brain develops by age 5. At birth, the average baby's brain is about a quarter of the size of the average adult brain. Incredibly, it doubles in size in the first year and keeps growing to about 80% of adult size by age 3 and 90%, nearly full grown, by age 5. Benefits of healthy eating. Good early years nutrition also offers protection from illness and disease later in life. Healthy eating in childhood helps build a strong, healthy body and mind, while building a lasting positive relationship with food.
Holistic planned grazing is a key practice for managing livestock under holistic management. It enables you to plan livestock moves and a host of other factors that will prove key to your success, financially, environmentally, and socially. The grazing planning procedure enables any farmer, rancher, or pastoral to produce the best time by adding value to the knowledge they invariably have already in their head. It is an extremely effective way of addressing the full complexity involved when managing soil, plants, animals, and integrating the animals with any other activities on that land. Most people cannot deal with more than a few variables at once, and none can plan the complexing livestock to regenerate grasslands and livelihoods using only their memory, a notebook, or calendar. Galileo Galilei's scientific discoveries, particularly his support for the heliocentric model of the solar system, where the Earth revolves around the Sun, led to conflict with the Catholic Church, culminating in his trial and condemnation as a heretic in 1633. The Edict of Theodosius in 380 was the first official intertwinement of church and government. Christianity was made the sole legal religion of the Roman Empire. The fundamental perspectives of the Church had been shaken from the Protestant Reformation. Protestant Reformation began in 1517 with Luther's 95 Theses. Reformation challenged the Catholic Church's role as an intermediate and essential entity between people and God. Nicolaus Copernicus first introduced the heliocentric theory in his book 6 Books on the Revolutions of the Celestial Orbs in 1543. The work did not receive any push church until 1616. As projections from the World Resources Institute for 2040 show, though, the problem is only due to become more widespread. Reporting by the Economist Intelligence Unit states, quickening urbanization, population growth, climate change and economic development are placing pressure on water systems. According to the outlook, 44 countries face either extremely high or high water stress levels by 2040. As warned in the Economist's report, at the same time, rising sea levels place a growing number of geographies, particularly in East and Southeast Asia, at a higher risk of flooding, which can overwhelm sanitation systems and pollute drinkable water sources. Studies have shown that diets rich in calcium and phosphorus reduce the number of pathogens and increase the number of lactobacilli in the gut. 8-9. Gut microbes play a key role in animal health, including digesting food, metabolism, regulating immunity, and defending against invading pathogens. In the Vedic text it is mentioned that as long as cows' feeding and welfare care are not right, farmers of the nation will never prosper, the whole country will suffer. In Hindu tradition, Krishna is often depicted as a divine cowherd, known as Gopal or Krishna, emphasizing his youthful, playful, and pastoral nature, and his connection to nature and the simple life. Here's a more detailed look at the relationship between the Maasai and their cattle. Nomadic lifestyle. The Maasai's nomadic lifestyle needs of their cattle, as they move with the herds to find suitable grazing grounds. Cattle as a foundation of Maasai life, food source. The Maasai rely heavily on their cattle for sustenance, consuming milk, dairy products, meat, and even blood. Economic basis. Cattle are a primary form of wealth and are used in form of currency. Social status. The size of a Maasai's herd reflects their social standing and influence within the community. Marriage and dowry. Cattle are a crucial part of the marriage process, with the groom's family providing cattle as part of the dowry to the bride's family. It enables you to plan livestock moves and a host of other factors that will prove key to your success, financially, environmentally, and socially. The grazing planning procedure enables any farmer, rancher, or pastoral to produce the best time by adding value to the knowledge they invariably have already in their head. It is an extremely effective way of addressing the full complexity involved when managing soil, plants, animals, and integrating the animals with any other activities on that land. Most people cannot deal with more than a few variables at once, and none can plan the complexing livestock to regenerate grasslands and livelihoods using only their memory, a notebook, or calendar. The temperature of soil. What warmth and coolness reveal about your farm? A farmer who touches his soil knows its mood. Most farmers focus on rain, fertilizers, and pests, but few pay attention to one of the most powerful signals of plant health, soil temperature. Before planting, before watering, before touch the soil. Is it warm? Cool? Dry? Damp? This simple test can tell you when to plant, when to water, and when to leave the land alone. What soil temperature tells you? Warm and slightly moist, ideal condition. This is the sign of balanced microbe root growth. Seeds germinate well, nutrients flow freely, and plants thrive. Cold and damp, dangerous for roots. Cold soil slows down microbial activity, reduces nutrient absorption, and can cause root rot. If your soil feels icy in the morning, wait before planting delicate crops. How to control soil temperature? Mulch is your best friend. It keeps soil cool in summer and warm in winter. Water wisely. Water early in the morning when soil is cool, not in the heat of the day. Use cover crops. They regulate temperature and prevent excessive evaporation. Improve drainage. If soil stays too cold and wet beds or add organic matter. Work to learn, not to earn. Today, you're faced with many choices. Will you work to earn, holding on to security over opportunity? Or, will you work to learn, and get a financial education, giving up some security to embrace greater opportunity? Most people will follow the conventional wisdom and choose to work to earn. But if you want to be rich, work for what you want to learn rather than what you want to earn. Figure out what skills you want to acquire before choosing a specific profession and before getting trapped in the rat race.
To care for the soil, we must understand that it is made of both living and non-living parts. The non-living parts of the soil are formed from broken down rock and decaying plant and animal material, such as leaves that have fallen on the soil and began to rot. The living parts are the tiny creatures that live in the soil. Some of these, such as termites, worms and beetles, are large enough for us to see, but most are too small to see without a microscope. We call these microbes, and they include millions of tiny bacteria and fungi. Microbes and soil fertility. Microbes are very important for improving soil fertility. They take the non-living parts of the soil and convert them into nutrients that can be used by plants. Chemical fertilizers, apart from being expensive and hard to access, can kill microbes. This is one of the reasons that they reduce soil fertility in the long term.
What bacteria is in a cow's stomach? Rumen microbes include the protozoa, bacteria, and fungi that live inside the rumen, one of the cow's four stomach compartments. In just 1 liter of rumen fluid, you can find 25 billion bacteria, 10 million protozoa, and 10,000 fungi. Geometer. It is a fermented microbial culture. It provides nutrients, but most importantly, acts as a catalytic agent that promotes the activity of microorganisms in the soil as well increases the earthworm activities. Geometer also helps to prevent the fungal and bacterial plant diseases. Preparation of geometer. 1. Add 15 kilograms cow dung and 10 liters cow urine. Add 2 kilograms jaggery or molasses. Add 2 kilograms of pulse flour and a handful of soil from the forest. Put water to make 2 volume in a barrel. And stir the solution well and let it ferment in shade for 48 hours. Fungi are the only organisms that can decompose wood. There will come a time when only those that know how to plant will be eating. Chief Oran Lions. If you like African food systems content, please subscribe and share our channel with your friends and family. Or if you're new here, hit the subscribe button so you make sure to never miss our weekly presentation podcast. Agriculture is tool to create health, wealth, shelter, protect environment, food, nutrition and basic skills development for our local communities. Adaptive grazing, which mimics the natural grazing patterns of wild herds, offers numerous benefits, including enhanced soil health, increased pasture productivity, improved animal welfare, and potentially greater economic returns for farmers. The research produced clear data showing that AMP grazing increases carbon sequestration and soil cohesion stocks and improves soil microbial and fungal life. It also appears to be a viable mitigation of water shortages and can contribute to reducing the magnitude of
Through managed holistic grazing, animals can make a positive impact. Their hooves aerate the soil. Their manure fertilizes the soil. And it all promotes deeper, stronger root growth and increases water retention and sequesters carbon. Regenerative agriculture. Positive impact.
Nutrient recycling. As the grass decomposes, it releases valuable nutrients like nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium back into the soil, which can then be used by the grass to grow. Mulch and water retention. Decomposing grass clippings also act as a natural mulch, helping to retain moisture in the soil and suppress weed growth. Benefits for the soil. Earthworms, which are attracted to decaying grass, also help aerate the soil, improving drainage and root growth. Reduced waste. Allowing grass clippings to decompose naturally eliminates the need to bag and dispose of them, reducing waste and promoting a more sustainable lawn care approach. It is a water-soluble biotreatment for new and existing plants, gardens, and landscapes. When applied to the plant's root system, soluble mycorrhizae can help reduce transplant shock and lead in increased water and nutrient. Studies have shown that diets rich in calcium and phosphorus reduce the number of pathogens and increase the number of lactobacilli in the gut. 8-9. Gut microbes play a key role in animal health, including digesting food, metabolism, regulating immunity, and defending against invading pathogens. In the Vedic text it is mentioned that as long as cows' feeding and welfare care are not right, farmers of the nation will never prosper, the whole country will suffer. The stems and leaves produced in the last growing season by these grass plants are now dead and will block sunlight from reaching the plant's ground level growth points. Unless this old material is removed before the coming growing season, these plants will produce very few new leaves.
Welcome to our lesson on soil conservation. We are going to start by defining the term soil conservation. Soil conservation can be defined as a combination of practices used to protect the soil from degradation. Methods of soil conservation in the agricultural environment include 1. Stirp cropping. 2. Grassed waterways. 3. Stone lines. 4. Trash lines. 5. Soil bunds. We are now going to discuss each method for better understanding. Stirp cropping. This is the growing of crops in a way that crops have little soil cover like maize are grown in alternating strips with those that have good ground cover such as sweet potatoes. This prevents soil erosion through surface runoff. Grassed waterways. Grassed waterways are natural or man-made shallow channels in which excess rainwater flows. The vegetation traps eroded soil. Stone lines. These are stones, of different sizes, heaped in a line along the contour to prevent loss of soil down the slope through runoff. Stone lines reduce speed of runoff, increasing water infiltration, especially in semi-arid areas. Trash lines. Trash lines are plant materials or crop residues, remains, arranged along the contour in a cultivated field. Trash lines help to reduce runoff, hence preventing loss of soil from land. They also increase water infiltration into the soil. Soil bunds. A bund refers to a heap of compacted soil made along the contours. Grasses can be grown on top of the bunds to hold soil together firmly. Bunds help to reduce the volume of water flowing downwards in a cultivated field after rainfall.
Restored soils. Organics improve soil pH and increase cation exchange capacity, thus reducing nutrient leaching and enhancing soil microbial activity, improving overall soil health. Carbon sequestration. Organic fertilizer and other climate-smart agricultural practices boost soil organic matter, SO. Empty soils, empty stomachs, empty livelihoods. The most meaningful indicator for the health of the land, and the long-term wealth of a nation, is whether soil is being formed or destroyed. When soil is being destroyed, so too is the economic and ecological foundation on which production and conservation are based. Soil health determines plant health, animal health, human health, ecosystem health, and even the health of the economy. There will come a time when only those that know how to plant will be eating. Chief Oran Lions. If you like African food systems content, please subscribe and share our channel with your friends and family. Or if you're new here, hit the subscribe button so you make sure to never miss our weekly presentation podcast. Agriculture is tool to create health, wealth, shelter, protect environment, food, nutrition and basic skills development for our local communities.